Hello and welcome to a very special episode of the Blend podcast. Special because we're going to kick off this episode with me walking through some trees. Now, I had hoped to be speaking to you all from the side of Snowdon during the annual Blend charity hike, but with severe weather warnings, safety had to come first, and the right decision to postpone the big climb until spring was correctly made. That didn't stop our community though. Across the UK, independent garages have been lacing up their boots and taking on their own local challenges. Walks, runs and hikes in safer conditions, all while raising money for Ben, the automotive industry charity.
Hi, Tim from Office Garage in Leicester, and today should be climbing up Snowdon fundraising for Ben, but it's postponed because of the very bad weather predicted for later on today. So instead decided to do a 10k run locally, still in support of Ben. Make sure you check out all the good things that they do. And without people's support, they couldn't keep operating. You never know when you might need it.
Hi Mike, it's Mark here from K&M in Crowborough. I thought I'd record this message for you today. The reason I was raising awareness for Ben and doing the hike was sadly for Steve Tester, who sadly took his own life. We had his funeral a few weeks ago. He worked and ran at Sussex 4x4. The garage here in Crowborough, just down the corner from us, and just wanted to do it just to raise awareness, one for the garage owners here in Crowborough and the surrounding areas, and for customers as well. We've been sharing a lot of stuff on our socials, trying to raise money for the hike. A lot of customers don't realise when you run a small garage that the pressures stop at our feet. You know, the running the garage can be very stressful.
Hi, it's Reece from Launch and Garage Hive. Seeing as Storm Amy put a pause on the hike this year, me and my mate have gone out for a run. We're going to do 17k in the rain to raise awareness for Ben, an automotive charity. They do such great work looking after our mental health. Lord knows we need it. Well done to everyone else that puts an effort in, and I can't wait to get us all together and actually do the hike for real when the weather improves.
So update for you, Mike. We are 32.5 kilometres in, about 10 kilometres to go. About 450 metre elevation, and I think Storm Amy's just reached Nottingham because it's pissing it down. It's very cold and it's very windy, but we're nearly there. 10 kilometres to go. I think the donations on the page have just ticked over £2,000, which is really good. And I know a few guys have managed to reach the top of Snowdon as well.
Thank you to all our sponsors. We've made it, but we're only halfway, so please donate. Go on, let's go.
Reporting from the top of the Peak District, me and Kyle are both embarking on an adventure to the B29 crash site in the Peak District. We've reached a milestone. As you can see, we're at the top of the big hill.
So we couldn't make the Blend hike today because the weather was too bad. So we headed up to Inverness for the start of Bangers for Ben. But we just wanted to say a massive thank you to everybody doing their hike today. Thank you. And hope the weather's not as bad as it is here. And this is our hike. Sarah has parked the furthest away in the car park from the shops that are all the way down there. It must be a good 10k, easy.
A massive well done to all those involved, some putting in a little more effort than others, but well done nonetheless, because at the time of recording together, you have helped raise more than £4,300. Fantastic effort. And I know we'll be coming together again in the spring to finally tackle Snowdon together. The excitement now turns to perhaps the biggest event of the year, the Blend Conference and Networking event, which is of course happening this weekend in Birmingham. To get us in the mood, I've been asking some of our past guests from the Blend podcast why the Blend is so important to them.
It's the only conference that was completely dedicated to the business side of operating a garage. And I think the people that go there, it's a great community to be involved with. It's very easy to make connections. And I think that, you know, it is one of those events that it's my favourite one of the year. You know, I really look forward to this event as my priority as an attendee.
go to the blend and meet people. Don't just put your blinkers on and go to the talks and ignore everyone. Meet people, chat to them, ask them questions. You will take away so much from it. I did. You'll be surprised as well that you'll have a few pearls of wisdom for other people as well. And if you make just one connection at the blend, believe me, it will be totally worth it.
This year alone, I've had about half a dozen people contact me privately on messages, and they're apologetic about asking me questions. Don't apologise about asking questions, because I've probably been in your situation and I can't help. But don't forget, the person stood next to me could have also been in the same situation you're in. So if anyone goes to the blend who hasn't been, go and ask everyone the questions that you need to ask. If you feel like it's a stupid question, come and tell me what the question is, and I'll go and ask it the person, because I don't care about looking stupid. So, you see, and so don't be afraid about, if you're struggling in the industry and you need to know, how are you doing this with your computer? How are you doing this with Garage Hive? I don't want to ring them up. I'm embarrassed. You know, they pick straws out at the call centre so they don't have to speak to me. You know what I mean? But no, in that scenario, ask every single question. You want to see someone who is the CEO of the biggest part supplying company in Europe a question, go and ask them the question. Because if you don't, you'll always regret not asking that question.
I know my first sort of 5, possibly 10 years in the garage, I felt like such an outsider. No one in our local area wanted to communicate. Nobody wanted to collaborate. It was all competition. And it was really hard to go into an industry where I had no knowledge. I was trying to learn it as I went. But then starting to do some of the training courses and doing some of the networking, these amazing people started to crop up who were willing to share and collaborate.
It was very isolating at first when I came into the industry, and things like when I rang around some of the local garages to ask who they got their lift serviced and certified by and their air compressors sorted with, and no one really wanted to talk, and no one really did any of that anyway. It's quite a small town, lot of traditional garages, and then gaining the inspiration from, joining a community, going to the blend, building on those relationships, and sort of just taking on that inspiration and making a bit of it your own.
Famously, this sector has always been a very lonely place, but that is changing now. We are coming together as a community much, much stronger, and we are, to quote this very, very successful marketing campaign for Brexit, we are stronger together. That worked, didn't it? That Brexit was a great success, wasn't it? But no, the truth of it is we are better together. Maybe they should have gone with that one. So yeah, together we are stronger, better together. I think that we need to embrace our community. So go to the blend, meet people. The communities that are around there, they are so worth engaging with.
Everyone's at different stages of the journey, aren't they, in life? Now, I've got, right today, my eldest daughter's 11 today, and she's sitting an entrance exam for a school, as many 11-year-olds and 10-year-olds are doing. And as a parent, we're at that stage of life. So, some parents are the sort of teenage years or whatever. It's a bit like business, some business owners are down at the baby, they're just conceiving the baby and having the babe. Some parents at sort of toddler, and some people, they've got grown-up kids, in terms of the business, a grown-up business. And the most wonderful thing is when somebody gives you some wisdom and gives you some knowledge and experience that saves you 10 years of hassle and struggle. You know the saying, always learn from other people's mistakes, not your own. And I think that's one of the most amazing things about when you get people together in a networking space and just saying hi. You can have a conversation, and whatever problem you may have on that day, we're in 2025. That may be somebody else's 2010 problem or 2020 problem, and they've got the solution. And all your stress can just be lifted because, hey, we know what to do.
So for me, it's all about the people and who you meet and what you learn from each other and what we can give in terms of, sharing our experience and knowledge.
I think this is a story that comes over and over again, is you all think that you're the first person that's ever experienced this until you talk to other people and you realise you're not the first person to speak to experience this. And that knowledge and that sharing is just so readily available at the Blend. And it's a good social, it's not just about the day. You've got the pre-event, you've got the post-event, which, and it's all part of getting to know people. I've made some brilliant friends from just going to that single event.
You don't have to do everything everyone else is doing. You don't have to copy other people. And sometimes you might think that other people are doing far better than they actually are when you talk to them. Sometimes you think, you put someone on a pedestal and think, oh, they're really smashing it. And actually, as much as they are doing really well, sometimes to find out what had to go into that or the sacrifices they've made, it makes a difference. So being part of a community that can come to the Blend really does make a difference. People aren't alone. There are garages out there that you can just message or pick up the phone to, and people will reach out to each other and help. So yeah, it's just about a good community and a strong team, really. Like an extension of your own team is being able to call on skills and advice from other people, I believe.
Come on the Friday, turn up, socialise, start speaking to people. You will find the noise in that room is deafening, and it's not people shouting, it's people talking in groups and people moving around. There's like an eddy of flow. There's very few people sat down. It's me sat down because I've run out of things to say to people normally, because it's just that busy. There's that many people moving around, the vibe, the hustle. And then you go to bed sometime in the early hours and you get up in the morning and it starts again. And that continues over the whole weekend. It's just people talking, sharing, and lifting each other up. You won't regret attending. It is, I still believe, the greatest event for the independent garage industry.
To quote Jim Rohn, so some people will have heard of Jim Rohn, a fantastic motivational speaker. So he is famously quoted as saying that you're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. So it's a concept that kind of suggests that individuals, we interact, the people we interact with most frequently have the biggest influence on our behaviours and on our attitudes, and they can shape our life. So if you hang around with the 5 idiots, you'll be like me. If you hang around with 5 great owners of garages and you communicate on the forums and what have you, you will become a great garage owner yourself. I truly believe that, and I've seen it.
It's one of the best conferences I've ever been to. I think the Garage Hive community and the Blend community in itself is like no other. If you're looking for knowledge or support or just other experiences, it's absolutely the place to be. And not only that, the evening event is always fantastic, and I do think we have a couple of surprises this year which I might be involved in. So really excited to see the whole day play out, and I can't wait to be there and meet new people and existing colleagues and friends along the way.
Anybody that knows me will realise I don't use Garage Hive. However, the Blend is an event for every garage owner, for your team, for your staff. It's a great opportunity to network. It's not about what GMS you use. It's about sharing ideas, learning. We're all in this together. We have the same challenges and the same issues. So it is one of my favourite events of the year. So yeah, it doesn't matter. Just come along, see what it's about, and you won't look back.
The skills and knowledge sharing that happens there, from the panel talks to conversations in the bar to conversations throughout the course of the day, the whole atmosphere of the event is just inspirational.
You will get so much from the event, from that interaction with your peers, from the workshops, from going around the trade village. I mean, that's always my favourite bit, and I always say that I'm never going to buy something. It's the pickler stand that gets me every single time. But yeah, there is some fantastic kit being showcased that I never used to allow myself the time to get my hands on it and have a good look at it and speak to people about what it could do for my business. Speaking to people who have stepped out of the industry and perhaps pursuing other things and what their journeys look like. where people are getting their apprentices from, how are they maintaining that pipeline. There's just so much going on, and the biscuits are always absolutely banging. Coffee's nice. What more could you want?
The sessions are great. Obviously, hopefully, lots of people will want to come to the Fleet Guy session and get something out of it. I aim to add value to anyone who comes. Even if they don't want to join Fleet Guy, I hope to impart some nuggets that will help them along their way. The sessions are great, but for me, it's about the people. And as you may or may not know, I'm hosting a pre-social the night before the blend in Birmingham. Again, the reason I did that was to create a space where people can come together.
But I just know it is so difficult on your first few times of going to a networking event or putting yourself out there. It does have that anxiety and it does have that fear. So I'm just putting it out there to both males and females. If you're thinking of attending the blend or thinking about doing a new networking, or you do feel like the outsider, just find that little bit of strength to put yourself out there, because it will open so many avenues for you to meet so many incredible people. And I'd start off with just potentially DMing a couple of people in the community and starting that little bit of conversation, that if you're looking to attend the blend, that there's so many people that will buddy up and meet you at reception or meet you at the bar to introduce you to the wider community, and your journey will only just begin and it'll only get stronger.
You know, a year ago, I went to the blend last year, and before a year ago today, I either barely knew any of these people or I had, never heard of them. And now each of these people, I think, have changed my life in some respect, positively. Certainly the businesses as well. There's way more than 5, but just to give a mention to Matt Cleaveley, the king of EV, Tim Benson at Oldfields, Paul Griffiths at Elite Land Rover, Timothy Guidotti, the king of Fleet. I haven't even mentioned him. We talk about change. His concept for Fleet is so worth listening to. That will change your business. Gary Wood, I mentioned as well. It looks like he's in a biker gang, but seriously, it's a freaking genius. And then you've got the ultimates themselves. I mean, I've never met anyone with a work ethic like Nathan Taylor, absolute legend. Emma Lindley, the queen of customer service. Alex Lindley, who is a lot shorter than I thought he'd be. I want a big shout out to these people. They have genuinely changed my life. And without the blend, I wouldn't be here chatting to you, Mike, about the blend, and Cartopia wouldn't be heading in the direction that it's heading in. So my advice to everyone listening is go to the blend, and if you've missed it and you're listening to this after the blend, go to the next blend.
So there you have it, the blend. It's about realising you're not alone in the challenges you face and asking questions. Of course, none of this would be possible without the blend's incredible sponsor lineup, each one helping to bring the event to life. This year, Castrol and the Race Group are returning as headline sponsor once again. So here's Maisie Rain from the Race Group to tell you a bit about their involvement and what they've got planned at the blend.
Hi guys, I'm Maisie Rain from the Race Group, and we're looking forward to sponsoring the blend for the 5th year on Saturday the 18th of October. It's an event the whole team look forward to all year, and we're really proud to be involved. Personally, it's my 4th blend, and this year will be my first presenting a breakout session. I'll be joined by Alex Beard from Garage Service Online, and we'll be talking about how independent workshops can stand out from the crowd online and attract more profitable business through their digital strategy. We'll touch on Google, business listings, websites and social media, and we'll also be giving away an iPad and a pair of AirPods during our session. Our talk isn't until mid-afternoon, but we've got lots going on before then. We're supporting some of the other breakout rooms this year and have organised giveaways for Ben Charity's Wellbeing Panel and also Dean Lomas's talk, where he touches on the importance of getting young people into the industry. Dave Roberts from the Race Group will be joined by Chris Cottrell from the IMI and Steve McCann from ProVQ for the keynote session. They'll be highlighting the recruitment issues in the industry and how we're working together to create a solution. The IMI will talk about their Motor awareness campaign and how we're working together to fill vacancies within the Castrol Service Network. ProVQ are an IMI accredited training provider and will discuss high quality training within apprenticeships. We have 2 stands at the blend this year, so we'll have our main stand where we'll be discussing all things Castrol Service. So we've got the branding, Castrol certification, the digital offer where we aim to help workshops improve their online visibility and drive servicing work to their businesses. We always get lots of questions on the dual branded workwear range, so I'm sure it will be the same this year. We're really looking forward to making some new connections, but of course catching up with our network. Paul Round, the race group's technical lead, will be over on our second stand, the technical drop-in. He'll be available to talk through any product queries or specifications and helping you to stock the correct oil. As usual, we'll have plenty of giveaways, so we're giving away an ATF flush machine on our technical stand, plus there's lots going on our main stand, including social media giveaways. You'll have to visit us on stand to find out any more. We're really proud to be sponsoring the Garage of the Year Multi-Location Award again this year. Good luck to Castle Garage Ashby, LM Motor Clinic and In and Out Auto Centres, who are all finalists this year. We're really looking forward to the blend. See you on Saturday.
Giveaways, breakout sessions, and a real focus on helping garages stand out online. Thanks so much, Maisie. I know there's a lot of us looking forward to your talk with Garage Services Online. Next up, to really capture the spirit of the event, I wanted to share a few words from attendees at last year's Blend Conference. This is what it's all about.
Okay, I'm Simon Haycock. We run Forge Garage in Lower Brailes, which is near Stratford, between Stratford and Banbury. Third year, yeah, it's just a nice way to meet people. Makes you feel part of a community. You can reach out to people if you've got a problem with anything, really.
I'm Jack Haywood, Service Manager at DC Lomas in Winsford. I just want to learn, want to get involved, meet people. I think it's brilliant to have everyone together, how everyone's willing to share information, and it's not like we're all competitors, everyone wants everyone else to succeed.
Yeah, just a feeling of not being alone. Because sometimes you feel pretty lonely trying to work a fault or deal with an employee that's a problem. So, you know, there is help out there. You're not on your own.
So I'm Paul Griffiths. I'm the owner and founder of Elite Land Rover. My first time here last year was a real sort of insight into what the aftermarket and the independents are doing, to be honest with you. And I'd been my own business for 7 odd years at that point last year, and I hadn't ever dived into this side of it at all, and it was like awe-inspiring. Coming away from it last year, being in a room with people that, number one, were up for these awards and the Blend Awards in themselves, it just made me step back and think, hang on a minute, like, where are we in relation to these other places, and what can we do to step up to get to them? Because we weren't, I still don't believe I'm potentially at a lot of their level, but to be able to even just share time with them, and everyone's so friendly, everyone will talk to you about it, to be able to sit and get a 10-minute conversation with Garage of the Year this year and last year and everything else, I mean, you cannot buy that sort of thing, do you know what I mean, for anything that you wanted to. It's a really inspiring place, I found.
My name is Gavin Lloyd-Parry. I run a garage in North Wales. Garage name is GP Motors, and we've been running now for nearly 17 years. This is our 4th year at the Blend. In my opinion, there is no other community like it out there for the garage industry.
My name's Brendan. I'm from the Gearbox Centre. We have locations in Kent, Bournemouth and Torquay. You've got people in the industry that want to actually make a change and help. You don't really see that in many industries, and there's no rivalry. Everyone wants to help.
Well, there's no bravado or no level of arrogance or anything else like that. It's just genuinely nice, free, open, flowing conversations. It's not like people trying to keep all their secrets, if there is any, to themselves. Everyone's quite willing to have a conversation, and you actually find out that you're all pretty much sharing the same challenges and issues and all the rest of it. And again, it makes a big difference to be able to not understand that you're not the only one going through it as a business owner.
Safe journeys to everyone making their way to Birmingham this weekend, and if you're not, be sure to take Nikki's advice and make sure you come along next year. Thanks to everyone who got involved in today's episode, and we'll be back with another episode very soon. Before that though, I'll see you at the Blend.